Hello, everyone. Welcome to our home-based business class. Super excited about this class today because I updated some information on it. But this is a class where we talk about the good and the bad of home-based business. More importantly, we share our stories of why we want to get into it. We share why we chose the home-based business of the health and wellness field and share the one that we love to see if it may or may not be something for you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Sheila, and she is going to share her story with us, how she got involved in home-based business.
Hi, everybody. And before I get started, I got my little grandbaby over here, and she's fussy right now. So she's not taking well to me ignoring her right now, but we're going to do the best we can. Yes, dear. What? She said she wanted water. I gave her water. She poured it in the sink and said, I want some water. Like, I don't get it. Yes. Yeah, they're wet because they had water in them. Can I talk here? Look, I have people wanting to listen to me. It only take a few minutes. Okay, so
I don't want veggie tail.
Okay, one moment. I'm gonna run and hide. I'm gonna go hide from you. Okay, then be quiet, please. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this is why we do a home-based business, right? So I raised my 6 kids. I have 6 kids, and oh my goodness, she's having a tantrum. And she's not normally like this, everybody, but it's still a joy. Raised 6 kids, and somewhere around my last one, who is now 17, he was about 3 when I got involved with Young Living. And like literally, I'm going to go into another room and let her chill out in a minute. And got involved in Young Living, and I wanted to be home with my kids. And I homeschooled. And when I found Young Living, it resonated with my lifestyle. I wanted the freedom. And I have learned that one of my top values is freedom. Freedom, everybody. And for me, Young Living had the potential, and not just the potential, but the absolute, like if you're taking a risk on something, you take a risk on something like this, right? It's not a huge risk. It's not, nothing bad. Hold on, I'm gonna accommodate her and that get her quiet. Nothing bad happens from this risk. You're really not risking anything. You're adding to your life. And then if you decide it is for you or not for you, then I'm changing now. Then you can just pivot. We're all used to pivoting, right? We got to pivot. Well, I pivoted 14 years ago to Young Living. Oh my goodness, she is really acting up for me right now. Sorry, everybody. But, that was my pivot. But that was a 14-year ago pivot. And when I pivoted to have this home-based business so that I can live out my values of freedom, my values of creativity. This is a business of creativity, right? This is a business where I am creating. I'm not creating oils. I let the experts do that. They did the hard part, and they do it very, very well. I couldn't even do it any better. But I am creating a legacy for my family. I am creating that financial freedom that I choose to have. And I am creating a cool business, just a business that helps me shine, I pivoted, and so now I'm shining online. I shined teaching, and it just helps me shine. It brings out who I am. It brings out the best of me. It brings out the best of my family in every area. I really just can't even talk enough about what this business has done for me. But just a few examples. All of my kids are in my business. That's the part of the legacy. They are in there. I love working together as a family. My daughter is the main one. I have 5 sons and 1 daughter. My daughter is the main one who is resonating with me on this young living journey. But even though my sons aren't fully active, they have referred people and all of that, I still can create a legacy for them. Can you imagine that? I still can create income for them. And it has been amazing to be able to do that and be able to just help my kids have a base, right? Help them have a base. Another thing is creating this residual income, this other stream of income that helps support my other streams of income. And one of those streams of income is we as a family, we invested in a horse boarding stable. So now I'm living my dream in the country on some land with some horses and boarding them. And our clients, we never had to shut down during COVID because horses are essential. You got to take care of them. I got some chickens, guys, now. I got chickens. I'm getting my fresh eggs. I have goats, baby goats, and I'm thinking about maybe breeding and milking the goat, okay, for some fresh, raw goat's milk. We've never done this stuff before. I'm a city girl from Detroit. We were just saying that. I'm the city girl from Detroit in the country milking goats. Why? Because of Young Living, because I can be creative like that, because I can have another stream of income that helps me be able to realize even other dreams. My life is so full. And I want to invite you to really, really, really listen to what you hear, because we've all had to pivot. Another stream of income is essential. We talk about essential businesses. Another stream of income is essential. We don't even know what could come upon us again. And then one with those oils, guys, I did get COVID. Let me tell you something. Now it was the later one, right? So Omicron, whatever that is. It was a vacation. I'm sorry, guys. It was my vacation. It was like, okay, it was on Christmas that I tested positive. I was like, okay, no cooking, no cleaning. Kids are staying away from me because it was me and my husband. The house.
She lives in Canada now, where the compliancy is different in Canada. So because she's now in Canada, she has more leeway to say some things that we might not be able to.
All I said was it was Omicron and it was a vacation. That's all I said. That's all I said. And it is true. She's true. I am in Canada, but I haven't said anything about, but it was a vacation. And it was because my kids, I had my house to myself. It's the first time during this whole thing that I did a Netflix, what do they call it? When you just sit and watch Netflix
and chill.
Yeah, that's the first time. It's Christmas. And I watched Lost. And for 2 days, that's all I did. Watch Lost. I've never done it. So a binge. That's what it is. That Netflix binge. So that was my freedom. I had the freedom to do that. I value freedom. If you value your freedom, if you value being able to make the decisions in your life that resonate with you, that are a part of you, that are authentic to who you are, and I know I got that sign coming in there, authentic to who you are, then take a look at this business. It's no joke. And consider another stream of income. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Sheila. With that, I'll turn it over to Dayna for her to share her story.
All right, guys. So welcome. I did want to also, just because Sheila didn't mention it, and I did put in the chat the income disclosure statement. Sheila, what was your highest or what your rank? Just so people know.
Sure, rank of platinum, and I've been with Young Living for 14 years now. 2000, let me see, this is 22. I started in 07, so do the math. How much is that? Well, it'll be 15 years in November, so it's the very end of 07, so it's practically 08, right? So 14 years, and it didn't take 14 years to get here. It took, let's see, I hit platinum about 4 or 5 years ago. But mind you, when I first started with Young Living, it was just a side gig, right? It was just, I had my kids, I had my 6 kids. It was what I could do, and I could do something. And I actually went to silver that way as a side gig. But after I got to silver, I was like, this ain't no side gig no more. So, and it became my full-time thing. And another thing, we're talking about everybody having a pivot, people have lost their jobs, different things like that. This wasn't during this time, this was way back, but my husband did have to close his business. And thank God we had another stream of income. We had an income to sustain us until he found his next gig. And it actually ended up being the horse barn. So to bring in that stream of income. So it really is all about other streams of income that are viable, that are not risky. I know there's some risky things like NFTs. I don't know if those are risky or not. That's what my daughter tells us right now. There's some different things, but this is stable. I'm not saying don't do some of that other stuff too. Hey, you have the freedom, people. I'm like on this freedom train for sure, for real. And yeah, just thanks for listening to my story and the benefits of being a part of an organization like Young Living and in this industry. And then with these wonderful people, oh my goodness, my Detroit sisters, I never met them in person, but we are sisters nonetheless. And that is what this organization is, brings like-minded, positive, usually, some people still are work in progress. We're all a work in progress, right? And the positive, ambitious, creative, we just have some wonderful people. So again, thanks so much for letting me be here.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I think that's so powerful, Sheila. I love your story so much. It's so encouraging to me. And I actually love telling my money story with Young Living as well. And I like to share this because I feel like for me, when I first started with Young Living, I did not see the business as an opportunity that I was going to personally take on. And the reason I thought, not because I didn't believe in network marketing, not that I didn't believe in the products, but for me, I looked at it as something like, how some people get into the NBA, right? That it's possible, but it's rare and far in between. And so for me, I just was like, all I really want to do is pay for my products. All I really want to do is not come out of pocket for the things that I know we need in our home. And so I like to tell my part of the story because I am not a platinum and my husband does still work a full-time job. But what we were able to do, even at the very beginning levels of this business, I think are so powerful that if we spoke about it more people would be interested in this business opportunity. So for me, if you think about at the time, I had just came from owning my own spa. I was getting back on my feet with certain things. It was a financial struggle just to make ends meet. But when Young Living and the business opportunity came into my life, I started just sharing. I started sharing naturally and organically. And what ended up happening is, okay, the cleaning products that I was normally buying and would be an extra expense are now getting covered. So I want you to think about if you currently have an expense that's, let's say, $300, $500 that you use towards your household products, your personal care products, and all of those things, but now it's absolutely free because Young Living is paying for it. What could you do with that extra money, right? And so as I started in these beginning ranks, I started to reframe my mindset. So I started to be able to replace these things. And then it got to the point where we decided, okay, now we have a little bit of extra. And again, even if it's just an extra $200, $300, $500, what we decided to do is, hey, we're going to take that because it's extra and we're going to put it towards debt. And so what we were able to do is actually pay off one of our cars. And then once we're like, oh, okay, I like this, we paid off our condo. So now we currently are mortgage free. And again, I am not at higher ranks in this business, but when you are able to have even a little bit extra income coming into your home, there's so much power that that can do. And so I like to share that because I feel like it should inspire other people, especially if you're maybe a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you are one that works a part-time job, right? And you're like, but I want more time, right? I want more time. And so even just the little extras can make a dramatic impact on your life and your family. And I know that it can for so many, I'll just say Americans, but Canadians, anybody that's watching, right? Because so many people lose their homes or lose things just over $100 that they were short. And so I love telling my story, just because I do think it's powerful to know that even when you're just first starting out, you can get somewhere financially a lot quicker than if you did not have this opportunity in front of you. That's all I got.
Love it. Love it. So I'm going to share just a little bit about me, and then we're going to go into the actual data and statistics and details of why a home-based business does make sense. So for anyone that's watching this replay and don't know me, I'm Tashena Gonzalez. I run a company called Be Activa, and I currently have several streams of income, but my strongest and most consistent one is being a silver with Young Living. And really being in Young Living has helped educate me and help me really in my business education and my goal setting to want to develop the additional streams of income that I have currently. And I usually love telling my story because I'm not the typical Young Living person. Like, when you see a lot of the people that are silver and above in Young Living, I'm like, yeah, I'm not Anglo. I don't have 2.5 kids. I come from the automotive industry. I'm not a homeschool mom. I'm allergic to pets. Like, my day before was I would, in the automotive industry, we would have Buffalo Wild Wings once a week, pizza parties, and we would sustain our days with coffee and or a neon colored energy drink. Like, that's where I came from. It wasn't like Young Living came into my life and I was all crunchy and I was like, this fits right into my lifestyle. But I had some health issues that I was desperate to get some solutions and support for, and the education system that came with Young Living helped me do that. It helped me get on track with my eating and drinking water and exercising more, and gave me some supplements and some clean living tips that drastically changed my life. And so when I got those drastic results within 2 weeks, I started to share with my family immediately. And so people will have stories and they'll say, well, when did you just start to do the business? Like, I just automatically knew that Panaway changed my life. And I knew that my sister and my stepmom were kind of more crunchy and weird like this. And so they were going to do it anyways. And so I started sharing. Like, I had to share. Like, people had to know this was different. They had to absolutely know this was different. And I started sharing right away. And so then I hit the rank that Dayna's at within a year, and I hit silver, although I didn't maintain it, within 2 years. And like she said, it drastically changed my life. Like, people will see that I go and I buy all of the new stuff, and they're like, do you get stuff early, or how do you? And I'm like, it's covered by my silver check. Like, it don't hurt. Like, I just, I order it and I expedite it and I get it right away. And I've been able to travel with Young Living. Like, I've been to places. I would have never went to Salt Lake City ever in my life, but it's an amazing place to go. And I get to meet so many people, and going to the farm is amazing. I happened to do a trip to Europe, and I was like, I should see more than one country. Where should I go? And I was like, I'm going to go to Young Living Farm. And I went to Croatia. I would have never went to Croatia if it wasn't for Young Living. And I'm on my way I've already bought my ticket. And when I get my next check, I'm going to buy my flight and book my hotel to Valencia, Spain for the European convention. I've been to Mexico several times for the Latin American convention, which is going on this weekend, but I had not enough time. So I got to check. We'll see when I can buy my ticket for the next one. But I went on the Young Living cruise. I would have never went on an Alaskan cruise if it wasn't for Young Living. And so just those perks, in addition to the tax benefits, have changed my life as well. And again, because of the education that I have, because of launching my coaching and consulting business, I'm going to be able to quit my job within the next 3 months. And none of that would have happened if it wasn't for Young Living. So with that, I'm going to go into the presentation. And again, we're going to go over why now is the best time to start a home-based business, to start a business period, and why a home-based business is a great place to start. So we already talked about my story. So I just love this slide. These are companies that were created between 2008 and 2010, which in the United States and many places of the world was considered a depression that we had, an economic depression. How many of these do you recognize? How many of these do you use? I use WhatsApp all day long, every day. I post regularly to Instagram. I think I checked out earlier when I got my hair done with Square online with the person. Venmo is a payment system that is used frequently. Groupon is one of my favorite places to get some discounted self-care. Pinterest is something that almost all moms use. And Uber or Lyft, I use very frequently when I'm out of town. I usually don't rent a car. I usually just Uber or Lyft my way everywhere. So these companies were successful because they filled a need at a time when people were losing their homes and losing their businesses. So why network marketing? We know that network marketing has a bad reputation. We know that probably within the last couple months, you had somebody in your inbox going, hey girl. But just because somebody does not work the business in a way that is positive doesn't mean that there aren't any benefits, just like any other industry, just like a car salesman, just like a doctor. So there are so many benefits of network marketing. What are some of those benefits? Well, you can build it part-time or anytime. You can build it, and you can build it from anywhere. This is one of my favorite things. As Sheila mentioned, we had to pivot. Like, I'm an extreme extrovert. I would have said that I was an ambivert before we got into the season that we're in right now. But when I was lockdown, stuck at home for 6 months with no contact with people, I found out I'm an extreme extrovert. And I loved my in-person classes. Before, I would do 3 in-person classes per month and 1 online. But then I couldn't do that anymore. I pivoted all my classes online, and now I do 4 classes online. My business did not miss a beat because of the structure of it. You can launch for as little as 500 to 1,000. And this is just any network marketing business in general. The one that we represent, you can usually do it for a little bit less, but you do want to make sure that you have some education in there along with the products that you get. And that might include something like an upcoming convention. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So we have lots of people in here, and we are supporting one another, even though we live in different states and in different countries. Business partners have vested interests in you. So those individuals that you help as brand partners, the more that you help them, the more benefit your own business gets. You can create enough tax deductions alone to make it worthwhile. And this is one of my favorite benefits because I am a high income earner. And at one point in time, while I was doing this business, I actually increased my tax bracket, and the deductions that I got, I probably wouldn't have seen any of that had I not had the tax deductions that I have. You can learn while you earn it. So again, I bought my kit. I had my first home party within 30 days and I got my check. You can earn an extra 500, 1,000, 5,000 or more a month. And there are people on this call that earn that. With time and success, your income will be produced by hundreds, perhaps thousands. So this slide was recently updated. I kept looking like every 3 months for update, and I was posting the 2019 version of it, and now the 2020 version is here. So why would you, when you're in the branch of network marketing, you could choose to do jewelry, you could choose to do makeup only, you could choose to do telecommunications, you could choose to do insurance. Why is health and wellness a logical choice? Well, the global wellness market reached approximately 4.4 trillion in 2020. This actually is a dip from The previous year is actually 4.75, and we all know why that is in 2020. But it's still in the trillions. Who would like a piece of trillion? Anybody out here listening want just a little piece of trillion? It's still in the trillions. And the growth rate is 9.9%. So it continues to go up, and we know that it is going to continue on that trajectory because it's predicted to reach 7 trillion in 2025. And what categories does it include? As you can see in the graphic, it includes healthy eating, nutrition and weight loss, mental wellness, personal care and beauty, physical activity, public health and prevention, and personalized medicine, spas, wellness tourism, and workplace wellness. And as we'll get into in the next slide, the amazing company that we've all chosen to do represents every single one of those categories. So why have we chosen to do Young Living? Well, Young Living owns their own farms or partners with farms that have the same standards. And this results in their industry-leading research and testing. They have a seed to sale promise that is unmatched in the industry. They have better than organic standards. They have 25 plus years of experience in the industry with 10 plus years on top of that of research. There's low startup costs. If you wanted a secure business that eventually would give you freedom, the next best thing to do is a franchise. And those usually are hundreds of thousands of dollars just to start them. Here, you basically have an online franchise for a lot less money. And they have the largest selection of essential oils, oil-infused products, and toxic-free lifestyle brands. Again, touching every single aspect of that wellness industry that we talked about. If you want to promote exercise and health and wellness, we got you. If you want to promote clean beauty, we got you. If you want to promote supplements, we got you. So Dayna already dropped this in the chat, but when we talk about the benefits and the freedom and the things that we have accomplished and how we've become debt-free or how we've been able to travel, we are obligated to show you the Young Living ranks and their average income. I'll probably grab a better and updated slide, but in general, some of the ranks that we touched on, if you're executive level, which is that's our core rank, you can reasonably get to that rank in 6 months with concentrated, consistent effort, and you make on average $500 a month. And then we have our rank of silver, which is the one I'm blessed to be at this time, which makes on average $2,000 a month. And then we have gold, which is $5,600 on average per month. And then we have platinum, which is the rank that Sheila's at and is on average about $14,000 a month. So the question is, where do you want to be on that list, and are you willing to work for it? So again, I just want you guys to think back to that first slide that we showed with those companies that thrived when the market was going down. And how did they do that? They found a need, they met the need, and they were able to grow their business. And as entrepreneurs, that's what our goal is right now. And Young Living gives us the vehicle to do that. So I thank you guys all again for being here, as well for anyone that's going to watch the replay. Does anyone have any questions or any comments that they would like to add? All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I will let everyone go, and the replay will be available, and it'll be sent to everyone that marked going, and you can feel free to share with whomever you like. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.